Hello and welcome to another Perspectives in Coffee. Now today I'm really pleased because the perspective that we're getting is from Kenean of Daye Bensa and Tamiru of Aloe Coffee. Now these are two gentlemen, fine young gentlemen in Ethiopia who I got to meet during our Q Grader Arabica course. So we hadn't known each other before that, but we met in Addis Ababa at the recent Q Grader course. You may have seen or heard announcements for that. We unpack a little bit of their perspective on the Q Grader course, but then also we dive into Kenean's perspective in being in a family business and kind of the changing tide of going from commercial to specialty to new processing methods and company culture. So you're going to want to hear from Kenean on his company perspective. And then Tamiru, as a very new entrant to exporting coffee to specialty coffee, he dove in and within a year he was placing and winning as a Cup of Excellence coffee winner. And so it's just really cool to see these two perspectives, kind of old coffee, new coffee, but both of them the future of Ethiopian coffee trade. And you're going to want to stay tuned to the end because they both give some really great advice for roasters, exporters, importers, and maybe new coffee professionals. You're also going to want to listen to their perspective on the third wave for exporters. We've all heard about third wave of coffee. Well, this is totally different. So make sure to listen to their third wave and something that they are working on now with other exporting nations. It's really great advice and insights from these young men. So I'm going to turn it over to them. But as always, if you have any questions, if you want to connect with me personally, add your questions down to the chat. Check out the show notes because I'm going to add their contact information. If you want green coffee samples, if you want to start a conversation or follow these guys, that's what Perspectives in Coffee is all about. Opening the doors so that you can see what other coffee professionals in the world are doing who value growth and sharing in this open, transparent way that we can. And so thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to learn your perspective in coffee one day. Add it to the notes, reach out to me, and we will be in touch. All right, to the episode. Hey everyone, this is Perspectives in Coffee. I'm here today with my good friends, my new friends, Kenean and Tamiru, and we had a third friend too. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Come on.
There we go.
Okay, thank you very much, Adam. I'm Tamiru Tadesse from Ethiopia, and I am representing my company, Aloe Coffee.
This is Kenan. I work for Daye Bensa as an export manager, and yeah, we'll talk about the rest. I think
we'll talk about the rest. So Tamiru and Kenean, we were classmates in our recent Q Grader course, and that's one of the things I'd love to hear you guys' perspective, and even what the 6 days was like, just some of your highlights or some of the challenges.
You wanna go?
Yeah, actually, Q Grader was amazing experience for me, and the reason I joined that class at the last time, it's almost 12 hours. Yeah, I was the last to join the class, and it was because of Kenan. Thank you very much for that. Actually, it's because of him, and we were ready to fail, and we are not expecting anything, and we joined, and it was amazing experience. We met many people, we met new friends, including Adam and T, every classmate. It was amazing experience for me.
Yeah. So you were number 13. You were the lucky number 13, Tame. And we squeezed you in. We made accommodation for you. So Kenean, introduce yourself. How do you guys know each other, and why did you think Tamiru should join the class?
Actually, how do we know each other? We have known each other through I think through family. We had a lot of my dad, my uncle. They know him, and somehow we just, after I moved back to Ethiopia, we met. Start to hang out after that, and I think the reason why is I think he was really interested on cupping, but he wanted to also have that pinpoint, and he was one of the person. So it's like, and I just met him that week. I was like, Tommy, you wanna do Q? I was like, you should do it. And then I convinced him, and I wanted him to take it. Also, I wanted a company as like, you should come.
Yeah.
Then it ended up being like a good thing for him and for me as well. So for me, for both of us, I think getting into Q wasn't like to get certified. Like I mean, it's one of the reasons, but like we'll learn from it. If we pass, we pass. If we don't, we'll go again to somewhere to retake it or something. We didn't have like a heavy expectation of like we get a Q certificate and all that stuff. So I think we got both now. So it's a good thing. Like we have, especially for me, I was struggling about copy, like especially scoring coffee because I don't have the full aspect of that, like scoring. Like you could just score whatever what others are scoring or something close. You keep collaborating, but you need to really know like the genesis of like that, how it came to this,
right,
to this thing, like to this aspect. You know the components that make up the cupping, but how do you define those components? Like so it can reveal that to me. The rest of the thing are like extra knowledge, but that was the core takeaway. But getting into the course for the question is like the first couple of days for me was tough, like especially the second day. I was like, man, this is crazy. But like after that, the last couple of days I kind of got used to it. Like I saw that it's doable, but at first I'm like, this is too much.
That's an interesting perspective. So day 2 was kind of an overwhelming, like you reached a point of overwhelm on day 2.
The day 1, like you are excited and you're meeting new people, you're learning new information and all that stuff. The second day, the same time, was like you're there until 6 and you're like, then even with the exam and everything, even the first day and the second day of the exam was like a bit crazy, but when you hear the result, I was like, okay, this is doable.
It is helpful to know that you're passing 75% of your exams, and then you can retake some of them. But you're right, to your point, the cupping form, the SCA cupping form, that's challenging. It's really hard to learn it quickly if you aren't in a regular habit of using it. There's a lot of information as you're cupping to think through and write it down. So but I had high expectations for both of you guys. Kenean, you and I met kind of quick and late, and I knew you were like this handsome, well-dressed coffee star on Instagram, and then you told me you wanted to bring your COE Cup of Excellence friend to the course. And I was like, okay, here's a couple of upcoming stars here. So I never doubted you guys.
Actually, my expectation was, even before that, I asked one mutual friend of me and Kenean, his uncle, asked him, should I join this class? Then he said, it's too early for me. He commented the same, I used to cup, maybe 10 or 5 times per year. Actually, Kenean, his cupping past year, he used to cup most of the time, and for me, I thought it's too early. And my friend also suggested that. Then Kenean came and he pushed me, he told me he's joining the class, that's motivation for, and he told me, don't worry about the result. If you are going to fail, I'm going to fail. Then we will fail together. We don't have to worry about even making friends. That's big thing. New friends. And caffeine. That's good experience. So he encouraged me, and I joined the class. And, it was good thing that happened to me.
How do you feel actually during the class? Though I want to know, like the first day, were you tired? Were you like,
even when you go to class, you have to wake up early morning. You have to keep up with Addis traffic. It was busy around Bole. So it was good, I stopped learning. I mean, I was, learning before 7-8 years, going to class, being serious, new experience, it was exciting. And the class, I mean, I was not expecting anything, So the people who joined the class, they are, they have a lot of experience in our class. There are couples from Falcon, from Sukafina, even Safe, our friend. So I was excited,
Yeah.
And those people are, I mean, the people who joined our class, I have much appreciation before that, So it was good experience for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that both of you guys, I mean, Tamiru, you were a star. You did really well in the course. And Kenean, you were really close. And I was so amazed. You were on the first Q grader class you could find in the US right before Expo. So that was good because it was so fresh for you. You were able just to follow up and get it done. So
that's why I decided if I waited like 2 months or something, I was just like, I will forget it. So I have to get it done.
Yeah.
I'm going to the expo anyway. So
right.
Yeah, it's better to utilize the time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of utilizing the time, there's so much we could unpack about the course, but it was just a joy to join you guys and to see that the cool thing about the classroom, like you said, Tamiru, is that so many of us were working professionally and we're just working every day. And so we kind of get out of the student mode. So going back into that class with, 13 professionals in the industry, some of these are big coffee traders, some of these are new startups or special projects. It was just a really great leveling ground. It was like we were all students again. And, it doesn't matter, like several of our friends flying in from other countries and then you guys being local in Addis and showing us around. If anyone wants to talk to you guys about the Q Grader course, we're going to put in the show notes, we're going to have your contact information so they can check out your website, Alo and Daye Bensa. They can get in touch with you, talk on social media. But one of the other things that I'd love for you guys to be able to share what you're passionate about and what you're working on.
I think coffee has not been my passion before I got in, to be honest. After I got in, I have seen a lot of opportunities and also a way just to make a huge impact throughout coffee, because after I got in, I've seen how much we can do with coffee within other country of origin, so we have a lot to put out, but because some of the work has not been as much done, so we are still like a lot of work to do, and that also creates an opportunity in terms of like even production, education, and even value adding on the chain. So we, as personally or as a company, since it's a family company, like I had a freedom like to implement the ideas or the thoughts that I have, so also as well as like collaborating and with other people. Tammy is here, so we have thoughts and ideas even together to actually make a shift within the industry, which we already start seeing the fruit of that. So as a personally, I believe on like, as long as I'm in this industry, my aim is like to change Ethiopian coffee, like to contribute to like moving forward the coffee industry like in a better way. But I can do that with the company context as well. So we're trying to, educate people from farm to cup. So we have the facility to farm to cup, and we are also try to start this movement of like specialty, like having some specialty shops and roastery locally, so we can actually like start to understand our client more and also contribute to the country like towards specialty, because still we are kind of contributing to the world in a specialty wise, but if we don't experience that, still it's going to be difficult to deliver what we are expected. So we are looking at those projects from two benefits, and not just contributing like to the country, but also to create people that understand specialty. So these are the things that will change the game, I think. Also learning from other like producing countries, where me and Tammy also trying to make a trip to South America. I've done it once and it's been a really amazing experience. So we're trying to do that intentionally. Other exporters like us that are open-minded to learn and make a change, than just travel through South America and bring a new experience within the country, also contribute to where we go as a country of origin. And so I think we'll be, one of a kind people to actually create a connection between producer to producer or exporter to exporter, because now, before it's like importer to exporter has been there, the connection. And now the new wave is kind of roaster to producer or something. So we are catching, I think, the third wave on connection, I guess. So those are the things I think. I don't want to take up so much time. I'll let Tami take over.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's brilliant. Like you say, the old model of just send your commodity to a foreign land, right? And then the roaster exporter direct relationship. And so here you are talking about like producers having relationships. I'm sure that people watching this would be thrilled to have you come. I could introduce you to some amazing people in Peru or Colombia or other places that you would want to go. Fascinating. What the Colombians might ask you and what you might observe from them.
That's exactly what happened when I traveled.
That's a beautiful collaboration. I just love that.
Yeah, because we had like a brand new processing after I traveled to Guatemala. We had this dry fermentation processing. It's been seen in Ethiopia like as a crazy thing, like not a good coffee if it doesn't ferment water. So where in other countries, like this is the greatest way to do it, then they also tried what we do in Ethiopia. So both end up being good because it's different. They haven't done it before. So yeah, I can't imagine how many things can be unpacked. Back then, it wasn't even my intention to learn about new processing. I'm just like traveling with a friend. It wasn't that, but we still use it to the day. Like we produced like maybe 100 bags back then, like the first year, or 150. Now we produce almost close to 1,000 bags of that coffee. Yeah, so like we have a whole division of processing those coffees. So, and it's been like a lot of people enjoy the coffee and the story behind it. So I can't imagine if we take like 5 exporters from Ethiopia that are like willing to learn, unpack things, and contribute back also to those people, could make a lot of change. Now it's like the coffees are also well known from Daye, Bensa, dry fermentation washed coffee. So I can't imagine. So we're gonna pick 3 people, Tami.
Yeah,
we get another 3 cool people from coffee.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, when we come together with Kenean, the friendship start from his dad. His dad is close for me, and he's like mentor in the coffee business. I used to work for exporting company for almost 7 years. I worked there. We know each other on E6, Ethiopian commodity exchange. And I was working for exporting company, and I'm from Daye, Bensa. That's the name of the place.
Yeah.
One coffee producing place. So I'm from Bensa. So we know each other from a long time. And when I stopped working for that company, I stopped selling coffee. And I started importing houseware from China. And I remember the day his dad and Kenean told me to think about, starting again coffee business. Then I went to the place which have good coffee, at that. It's before 2 years or 1 year, I think, yeah. And that was after Cup of Excellence. So I have, this idea about the coffee with 1 cup of excellence. So I went to those origin, to Arbogona, Bona, Bensa. Then I went back to the place which is near to me. I'm from Alo, so I went there and started washing station there. I produced coffee and submit to Cup of Excellence. Then I become number 1. It's amazing. So after that, a lot of things happened to me. I mean, I even changing my intention, only focusing on this top specialty coffee. And I'm thinking about even going to have my own farm. I mean, I want to try new varieties. We were discussing with Kenean about that, and that's why we are planning to go with to go to America, North America part, this Brazil, Colombia, or Panama. We are talking about that with our friends. It's a good thing you're gonna give us good connection. Yeah, that would yeah, that would be helpful for us. So, and what I like about them is they are open. We are competitors, but they are helping me. I'm helping them too. But we are selling almost the same product. Our place is almost close, and we are still friends. And we want that thing the same. The intention like this. Helping each other. You can help each other, even if you are in the same business line. We are friends. You can make friends with even if you are in the same business. That's what we are trying to do, and we want another exporters like us who can join us. Which are open, and which they have good idea. Helping each other, open about the thing they are doing. It's not nuclear science. Coffee is simple thing.
Yeah.
I gain experience from them, from Daye Bensa. I remember even his uncle. He went to my station and he helped me to set up this fermentation process in my washing station and drying station. Although I remember that they helped me a lot, and they are also helping a lot of suppliers from Bensa and educating coffee people. Getting human resource in coffee is difficult in Ethiopia. The old way of doing business in coffee is, by old traditional way. So that's changing now. People started to think and produce good coffee. Before it's like commodity, just sending coffee and selling. People think about only selling. And now they started thinking, producing the best. Thinking about the excellence, producing good coffee, and having a story for that coffee. That's our intention. And now young generation, they started having good story and good coffee together. It is easy. It's easy for selling. Selling will be not issue if you have those both together. So we are more focusing on that issue. That's why we want to go this Brazil and Colombia, Panama, to gain more experience from them. They are good at marketing and having a story. So this is our plan.
Wonderful. I love it. Yeah, I was going to ask early on if you guys were like friendly competitors, and you kind of explained that situation. I think there is an old mindset of this limited resources and just really competing for customers. But it sounds like Kenean's family has helped this up and coming star for you to, go and set up a washing station and win COE and get into the market. Maybe some people just see that Ethiopia is competing with Kenya or Uganda or Rwanda. Maybe it's like you wave the Ethiopian flag. You don't just wave your individual flag, or you're just working for the betterment of the industry. I love that. This is the new perspective. And you talk about the new young people. I think you are the new young people.
we are, man.
Yeah, I love it.
About, this thing, collaboration is Tami also has his own effort on building relationship. He's open-minded and, when you think about long-term relationship and the long-term growth, you don't think about these smaller pieces of, usually when you bring people in, sometimes how do I say, sometimes you don't get that response of people would think a short term or they'll take advantage of that or manipulate that or something. Tami has been a person that is like very kind and open-minded person and really appreciates the support, and he's been also not just we contributing, but he's been also contributing to our success also. So
Awesome. Hey, a couple questions as we close here. So maybe the first question And you can take these in either order. One of them, what you're personally excited about for this year, and then two, what kind of advice you might give some up and coming coffee people.
I'm excited about there are new projects in coffee that we are doing that will be announced. So I'm excited about those couple of projects. I mentioned the one here, which I didn't ever mention already. Like we've been just doing the work at the back end. So I'm excited about those things. And we'll be also traveling with Daye to Milano. So I'm excited to connect with people there. But when it comes to, I think, advice, I mean, especially for exporter and the new ones, they are always, the new ones always have, the same kind of issue. They're always focused on like just building a huge business and selling. They are not focused on the learning curve and building actually a long-term business. They're just like looking for customer or to sell. They don't even know what they're selling. They don't even know how, and customer always, they don't look at the coffee sometimes. They'll have to they talk to you and they can easily tell if you know what you're doing or not. No matter how cheap your coffee is, no matter how great your coffee is, as long as you don't know what you're doing, the person has a doubt. So people really have to, new exporters really have to focus on, on learning, especially when they start. They have to invest on education, so they can't underestimate this progress or pattern of, they want to just get to that point of like being a big exporter all of a sudden. So I think that's very important. It's like, hey, Kenan, I just want to say, some people even told me straight, I just want to sell. I'm like, but when you get to the point that you build your reputation and your brand and you know what you're doing, people will come. You don't even have to like beg for selling or anything. Like if they know that you have built your name and your reputation and you're providing good products, then it's your product can speak itself. For a roaster that are buying it's very, early stage, I think a roaster should buy from their own importer. That's what I recommend. If they're buying, like few bags a month, if they're buying 5-10 bags or so, they should be working with the importer in their local market. But if they got to the point where they are able to offer like a half a container or a container, then they should have an origin connection to actually even make the purchase, because they can just pick their importer and work with them. But if they're like doing few bags, I feel like they should focus on learning about the green bean and how it's produced and all that. And, mostly importers are preparing like this origin trip. They can go to origin trip, make a connection, but also they can come to Expo, meet producers, and just like build, set up yourself to when you are roasting a bigger volume to know where you have to go. Because some also like they'll get to that level, start to looking for producer. By the time you're already growing, you should already building your connection. You should know who's doing good job in Ethiopia or good job in Colombia.
Nice. Okay, Tamiru, something you're excited about and a piece of advice that you have.
Actually, for this year, for 2022, I'm more excited about having my own farm. I already purchased land, and that's why I want to go with this guy. So origin coffee producing country. So I learned a lot this year. I have few commercial coffee for this year, including this specialty lot, top high-end coffee, and I learned a lot. And I decided to stop selling these commercial ones, and I want to focus only on this top lot. That's the learning curve for me. And for coming year, I wanted to focus on this top specialty on my farm, and I'm excited about that thing. And the trip which we are going this year. Also, we are doing a lot of traveling. I want to travel to Milan and also, South Korea, Japan, and, I think sometimes we are lucky people. I mean, in coffee business, it's giving me a lot of opportunity to meet nice people, connecting with each other, learning new culture, and even meeting with roasters, buyers. Last time we had a panel discussion with a Cup of Excellence founders, and they also invited the buyers from Japan and Korea. And I heard their story. Most of the time, we hear a story about the farmer only. It was amazing, it's a new experience for me, and we are friends now, and that's a good thing. And I'm excited about this trip, the exhibitions, expos. It's an amazing thing. You meet a lot of people. We were in groups, even we meet with Ethiopians there. We were together, we had dinner together. Kenean arranged the dinner for us. We were close. This will connect both the sellers, from Ethiopia, coffee exporters, and the buyers. That's good opportunity. And so I'm excited about these two projects. I mean, traveling and having farm and focusing on specialty coffee.
Awesome. Well, I'm so excited to unpack a little bit more and just that we get to know each other. Like you said, coffee opens up these relationships, and it's not always easy work. It's not the easiest way to make money, but man, to expand your connections and just open your eyes to the world and what's going on, we do love coffee for that. So thanks for sharing your perspective with us today. Can't wait to see you guys again. I don't know if I'm going to make it to Milan, but I'm trying to figure out if I can. And I know we'll definitely connect again in Addis or somewhere else in the world. Well, again, so in closing, I would love for any of our viewers, any of our listeners to be able to get coffees. So if they reach out to you or connect, you're interested in sending samples out, especially if people are looking for, maybe they're importers and they're looking for another good Ethiopian option, or maybe they're roasters who are kind of building that relationship. You guys would be able to do that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I know that's your specialty. You've got coffee. We've got roasters.
It's kind of a bit late this time of the year for this crop, but next year it would be much more available. At this time, it's like most of the thing is gone and on the process to go. But yeah, like either way, it's good to connect, to have like a conversation going for sure.
Yeah, that's a great thing to end on here. So we're filming this in April. Maybe someone's going to watch it in November. So why don't you just give them a timeline? When is a great time for them to reach out and say, hey, I'm interested in the fresh new samples that you're going to get? When do you get those samples and you start sending them out? What's your timeline for Ethiopia for our roaster buyers?
I think it's January or February.
Yeah, for samples, January or February. Yeah. But if they want a special processed coffee, a special preparation, they have to keep in touch. And
go ahead, Tom.
If they want a special process, that means, for example, there are unique need from the buyers. They want customized preparation. Some of buyers who want the coffee for competition, they have to order. They have to send how should I prepare that coffee. They have to send me, and they have to communicate with me earlier before harvest starts. That's November, December.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, the sampling is still January, February.
Yeah, for samples. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but you're going into harvest with a plan, and you're going to say, I've got this competitor, I've got these roasters, I'm going to set aside some coffees for our anaerobic, for our drying, for our washing. So yeah, that's a really good point. These conversations happen earlier. You don't just come knocking on the door in February and say, I want a bunch of anaerobic special processed coffee. That's an early conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hey, good tips, great advice. So happy to see you guys. Have a good night. It's evening there. So until next time, I'll see you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adam.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Totally. Take care, brothers. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually.